Hey there, and welcome to a brand new series called What If. This will be a bit like the Marvel series, which I haven't actually watched yet, where I'll discuss some of the alternate storylines that could happen in movies. The first idea we'll look into is, what if everyone who was dusted wasn't wiped from existence, but were instead transported to another world in the multiverse? I have to admit, this doesn't make much sense if you don't look at the evidence, but I think it's worth looking at. So, one of the main things is how. The Infinity Stones all have separate purposes that make them able to erase half of existence, but not one doesn't make sense. According to Marvel, the Space Stone's purpose in the snap was to reach all of space, but that doesn't correspond with the purpose of the Space Stone when it's on its own. In the Avengers, or Avengers Assemble, the Space Stone is in the form of the Tesseract and can be used to create wormholes through space. How is it that the purpose suddenly changed when it got put into the Infinity Gauntlet? We also know the Space Stone can be used to generate energy because that's what S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra were trying to do. We know the Space Stones were created at the Big Bang from gamma radiation, and they were trying to harness that energy. But if the Space Stone was actually used to create a wormhole in the blip, what were the other stones used for? Well, I think the Mind Stone could have been used to erase the memory of those snapped, so they wouldn't know exactly what had happened to them. That's why Peter Parker comes back. When Peter Parker comes back, he's panicking and saying he didn't know what happened. They know they're not in the same world, but they don't know how that happened. Then the Reality Stone would have been used to make it seem like everyone who was dusted had died and not just been transported to another universe. Alternatively, the Soul Stone could be used to grant life after death, so the dusted could have actually died and then been brought back to life. The Power Stone could have been used to execute the plan on such a massive scale. The Time Stone would have been used to dust everyone at the same time. So, by the laws of the Infinity Stones, it could be possible. But if they were transported to another world or universe, which one? There are many different universes within the Marvel Universe, and theoretically they could have gone to any. However, would that have created a branch in the timeline? I know this isn't the Loki takeover, but we're going to have to delve into the rules of the TVA a bit now. The answer is no. It wouldn't have created a branch in the timeline. We already know from Mobius in Loki that the Avengers time heist was meant to happen, which means the snap was also meant to happen. However, we need to think about which multiverse they could have gone to. There are a few multiverses or pocket universes that they couldn't have gone to. So, The Hill, because time runs several times faster there, so if 2 years passed in Earth 616, 10 years have passed in The Hill, and none of the dusted Avengers mention being there for about 20 years. As well as the fact that people living in The Hill survive on the survival of the fittest society, so some of the less strong dusted Avengers probably wouldn't have survived. They couldn't have been in the microverse either, because Scott Lang was in the quantum realm while they were snapped, and he probably would have encountered them if, as people think, the microverse is the quantum realm. That's not been said yet. They couldn't have been in other place because that was primarily featured in the X-Men comic books, and the rights to X-Men still belong to Sony, so legal problems. They couldn't have been in the Void because Shaman hasn't yet been introduced to the MCU. They couldn't have been in Earth 1610 because that's Miles Morales' universe, so he would have most likely mentioned the fact that there are Avengers that are meant to be dead in his universe in Into the Spider-Verse. One thing worth noting is Marvel Comics take place in Earth 616, whereas the MCU takes place in Earth... Wait, let me get this number right. 199999. That's a lot of nines. It also couldn't have taken place in any of the X-Men, Fantastic Four, DC Marvel crossover, or Spider-Man universes, as they're still owned by either Sony or DC. So, there's a long list of ones, and I'm going to read them out. Earth 10005, Earth TRN 414, Earth 1610, Earth 17315, Earth 92131, Earth 12041. You know what, should I read these out or should I literally write them in the description? I think I'm going to write the list out in the description, but anyway, there are quite a few. So, with all of them ruled out, it leaves us with Earth 616, Earth 41633, Earth 10022, Earth 9907, Earth 58163, Earth 1287, Earth 88194, Earth 45828, Earth 14811, Earth 31117, Earth 93060, Earth 8116, Earth 2301, Earth 12... Alright, I'll say that one again because I lost my breath in the middle. Earth 1226, the Soul Stone, the Negative Zone, the Mojoverse, or Counter Earth. They're the ones that it could have been. I know I just said a lot of numbers, but I had to kind of go through most of the ones, and I'll write the ones that I didn't say in the description because it's just too many numbers. So I think they most likely went into the Soul Stone, but they could have gone into any of them. So we know how they got there and we know where they are, but when? By that I mean, does time work differently in any of these universes? And if so, could time have gone by faster, which is why none of the Dusted actually aged while they were there? For some reason, I've done loads of research on this. I literally took about an hour trying to find the answer to this question, but cannot find it. So for all you Marvel experts out there that have just got this tucked away in the back of their brain somewhere, can you answer that in the comments? Just make sure to put it down there. I'll make a part 2 to this, just saying that I couldn't answer whether time worked differently because I've not read an awful lot of comics in my time. I've read quite a few. I've got a basic understanding, as you can kind of tell. But yeah, I could not find the answer to that on the internet. So, for now we'll skip that one, but we need to look at one other thing. Well, two other people. Wanda and Doctor Strange. So this one, I've sort of theorised myself. I've got hardly any evidence for it. But obviously the pair are experts on the multiverse, especially with Wanda being a Nexus being. So why couldn't they find their way out of the multiverse using their magic? Well, the answer is simple. This is my answer. This is what I think is the answer to this question, but correct me if I'm wrong. Thanos destroyed the Infinity Stones, which means the actions from them were irreversible. When the Avengers got the other Infinity Stones from the alternate timeline to create they created a completely new action, bringing everyone back. So they didn't actually reverse anything, they just did a completely new action, if that makes sense. Let me know if that doesn't make sense, but basically what I'm saying is Wanda couldn't have gotten them out because the Infinity Stones were destroyed. That's my reasoning. So obviously let me know if this logic makes no sense. I would love it if any hardcore Marvel fans could just give me a bit of constructive criticism on these, because I'm aware some of my ideas make no sense to other people. I tell them to my parents and they're like, what? So basically what I'm saying is you need the Infinity Stones to reverse the actions of the same Infinity Stones. In conclusion, this theory is plausible, but I'll believe it more if we got some sort of confirmation from Marvel at some point about whether they actually died or not. Let me know in the comments if you believe this or not, because I would just love to see everyone else's opinion on these things, because I have pretty strong opinions myself, so I'd like to see everyone else's. And let me know some possible theories you'd like to me to talk about in this series. Make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on so you never miss a video. Bye!